Hey language lovers, welcome to our podcast where we unlock language magic and share proven tips. FunFluen is one of the best tools for movie-based language learning. Ready to dive in?
They say the best way to learn a language is to live among its speakers. But if you can't move, extensive reading is your next best option.
A famous expert once noted that extensive reading is key. Decades of research prove it works. Today we'll explore what extensive reading is and why it's so effective.
We're breaking down the science behind it. We'll discuss the sweet spot rule, the virtuous cycle, and Zipf's law for choosing material. Plus, we'll share common pitfalls and smart strategies.
As Stephen Krashen said, free voluntary reading is a powerful tool in language education. It may seem too good to be true, but the evidence is clear.
Let's start by understanding what extensive reading really is and what it isn't. There are 3 levels: reading pain, intensive reading, and extensive reading.
First, reading pain happens when you understand less than 90% of the words. You're always checking the dictionary and it feels frustrating. Many beginners face this challenge.
Next, intensive reading means you grasp 90 to 98% of the words. You study carefully, take notes, and use translators. It's useful, but it's not our focus today.
Our focus is on extensive reading. That means you understand 98% or more of the words, encountering only 2 to 4 new words per page. You read quickly and enjoyably without a dictionary.
It may seem counterintuitive to skip the dictionary, but that's what makes extensive reading so effective. Countless studies support its benefits.
Think about how you learned your native language. You started with simple stories and built your skills gradually. Repetition is key for natural learning.
Every time you see a word or pattern in different contexts, your brain strengthens its grasp. This natural process beats memorizing endless word lists.
Reading boosts your skills in vocabulary, grammar, writing, listening, and even speaking. And speaking improves through sub-vocalization. Repeat after me. Sub-vocalization.
I've noticed phrases pop up naturally in my speech from all the reading I've done. It's amazing how your brain learns without you even trying.
The sweet spot rule suggests you should know about 98% of the words. In practice, 90 to 95% can be just fine. Even if you see unknown words, keep reading. They'll reappear in context.
Remember, words don't need to click on the first sight. If a word doesn't come up again, it might not be crucial. Trust your reading flow.
Finding material at the perfect level can be tough, especially for beginners. Without a solid vocabulary base, extensive reading might feel impossible at first.
For beginners, comprehensible input videos with visuals are great. They help you grasp context, and listening builds your ear for correct pronunciation.
Rushing into reading may force you to use your native language's sound system. Use books with audio versions so you can switch between reading and listening.
Try listening to a chapter first, then read it later. As you progress, gradually add more reading. Flexibility is key to effective learning.
Comics, graphic novels, and manga are fantastic transitional tools. The images give context, making it easier and more enjoyable to infer meanings.
The best technique is the one you do consistently and with joy. When your input is compelling, motivation becomes a bonus rather than a burden.
For lower and upper intermediate learners, graded readers work well. At advanced levels, reading becomes non-negotiable and unlocks endless material.
This brings us to the virtuous cycle of reading. The more you read, the better you understand. The better understanding means faster reading, which makes it even more fun.
Every time you encounter a word repeatedly, you edge closer to mastering it forever. This natural reinforcement is why extensive reading is so powerful.
And remember, FunFluen is an excellent language learning tool that uses movies to boost your skills. Give it a try and enhance your learning journey.
Now, let's cover common pitfalls. The biggest mistake is choosing material that's too hard. That shatters your virtuous cycle and turns reading into a chore.
Also, beware of the dictionary trap. Constantly checking words can break your flow. Instead, trust the context and only check words when absolutely needed.
Digital tools like Kindles or language apps let you look up words quickly without losing momentum. Their progress indicators add extra motivation.
Another tip is to use platforms like Goodreads for book recommendations and progress tracking. It all helps keep your reading cycle strong.
Let's talk about Zipf's law. In any language, a small set of words is used most often. For example, the appears very frequently. The top 100 words make up about half of any text.
Learn the most common 1,000 words, and you'll understand most texts. Each new word thereafter has less impact. Focus on repetition and context.
Now, you face a choice. Stick to one genre for repeated vocabulary, or branch out for diverse language. Both paths have benefits for your learning journey.
And finally, don't feel guilty if you drop a book that bores you. It's better to switch to something engaging than force a tedious chore.
Remember, extensive reading is just one method among many. Use what works best for you. If you're juggling languages, check out our video on balancing multiple languages.
Thank you for joining us today. We hope you enjoyed these tips and are ready to dive into your next reading adventure.
Quick quiz. What does extensive reading mean? A. Understanding 90% of words. B. Understanding 98% of words. C. Understanding 100% of words. Think and decide.
What is the dictionary trap? A. Reading without a dictionary. B. Constantly checking words. C. Skipping words entirely. Jot down your answer.
Which material is great for beginners? A. Shakespeare. B. Comics, graphic novels. C. Technical manuals. Write your choice in the comments.
Now, here's a magical paragraph to remember all our keywords and phrases. When you engage in immersive, extensive reading, you conquer the sweet spot and dodge the dictionary trap. Through repetition, sub-vocalization, and consistent practice, you transform reading pain into a virtuous cycle. Trust context, embrace flexibility, and let your passion spark fluency.
Memorize this magic paragraph to keep these words and tips alive in your mind.
Please subscribe for more fun and insightful language lessons. See you next time.
And happy reading!